Have you ever woken up feeling like your body gets out of bed, but your soul stays lying down? As if everything inside you feels heavy, even your thoughts. Sometimes it's not laziness or a lack of willpower, it's simply the exhaustion of existing in a world that demands too much and gives too little. If you've been feeling like that, without energy, without focus, your mind running non-stop, you might be closer to burnout than you realize. But there's something fascinating and deeply inspiring that comes from the other side of the world. Japanese doctors who practice small mental exercises every day to prevent emotional exhaustion. And today, I want to share 7 of these techniques, simple, profound, and backed by science. Before we dive in, take a deep breath. Slow down for just a moment. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. This is a safe space, a place where you can understand your mind, take care of yourself, and learn real, gentle ways to recover without guilt or pressure. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, this is for you. So go ahead and subscribe, because what you'll learn today might completely change how you deal with mental fatigue. In Japan, burnout is taken very seriously. They even have a word for it, karoshi, which literally means death by overwork. It's not just a metaphor. It's a social reality. That's why many Japanese healthcare professionals who face extremely high levels of stress developed daily mental habits and practices that protect them from collapse. And the most fascinating part is that these exercises require no money, no travel, and almost no time. They're subtle adjustments in how you think and perceive life. The first mental exercise is called Shinrin-yoku, which translates to forest bathing. But don't worry, it's not about getting lost in the woods. It's about allowing yourself to be present in nature, even for a few minutes. Japanese doctors discovered that mindful contact with nature, watching the wind move through the trees, listening to birds, or simply looking at the sky, drastically lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. They often do this between shifts, sometimes just by gazing at a single tree outside the hospital window. Now imagine doing this intentionally. Stepping outside for 5 minutes, breathing deeply, watching the colors of the leaves. It sounds small, but it's a physical reminder that the world isn't just screens, noise, and rush. Forest bathing is an invitation to clear your mind and let your body remember that it belongs to something calm and alive. The second mental exercise is Ikigai. You've probably heard this word before. It means reason for being. But what most people misunderstand is that Ikigai isn't about some grand purpose or career goal. It's about the small things that make you feel alive. Caring for someone, cooking a meal you love, helping a friend, listening to music, or simply watching the sunrise. Japanese doctors say that finding your Ikigai isn't about discovering something new. It's about remembering what already brings meaning to your life. When routine starts to suffocate you, reconnecting with your Ikigai is like finding your center again. Ask yourself, what still makes me feel alive, even for a moment? That answer, however simple, could be your lifeline out of burnout. The third exercise is called Naikan, which literally means looking inside. It's a form of Japanese self-reflection therapy based on 3 powerful questions. What have I received from others? What have I given to others? What troubles have I caused others? This practice is used in hospitals and even rehabilitation programs in Japan because it creates something called active gratitude. Not the shallow kind of gratitude that shows up on motivational posters, but a deep, conscious awareness of connection. When we're burned out, we often feel isolated, misunderstood, and worthless. Naikan helps reorder your thoughts and reminds you that you're part of an invisible web of giving and receiving. You can practice it at night before bed. Write the answers in a notebook. Over time, you begin to see that you receive far more than you realize, even on hard days. And that changes the way your brain interprets fatigue. Take a breath for a moment. So far, we've talked about reconnection, with the world, with purpose, and with others. But now, let me ask you something more personal. Have you felt like you're losing yourself? Like you don't even know what you enjoy anymore? what makes you happy, or where you're going. If that's you, leave a comment below saying, "Yes, I want to find my mind again before burnout takes it from me." Write it just like that, because putting it into words is already an act of self-care. I'll be reading and replying to every comment, one by one, to help you on this journey. Let's keep going. The fourth mental exercise is Kaizen. This word means continuous improvement. But unlike how it's used in corporate settings, in mental health, Kaizen isn't about productivity. It's about gentle, consistent progress toward peace. Japanese doctors apply Kaizen to mental well-being like this. When fatigue hits, instead of chasing big life changes or miracle cures, they focus on micro-actions, small, steady movements that slowly restore balance. Go to bed 10 minutes earlier. Drink more water. Step into the sunlight for 5 minutes. Stretch once in a while. There's a saying in Japan, even an ant's step is still a step. And that mindset changes everything, because burnout doesn't appear overnight. It builds up over time. And recovery works the same way. It's slow, but steady, and it lasts. The fifth mental exercise is Zanshin. It's a term from martial arts that means calm awareness after the action. In medicine, it's used to describe the mental state of focus and composure after completing a task. For example, when a Japanese doctor finishes surgery, they don't immediately rush to the next case. They pause. They breathe. They acknowledge what just happened before moving on. That small moment of mindfulness prevents mental residue from building up. Think about how often you finish one thing and instantly jump to the next, without even noticing that you completed something. That's how mental clutter accumulates. Zanshin teaches you to respect pauses, to close emotional loops, to end one task fully before starting another. And when you do that, your mind starts to feel lighter, clearer, and more in control. What's beautiful about these first 5 exercises is that they're simple, yet deeply human. None of them require extra time or energy, only presence and gentleness. And that's exactly why they work. Because burnout isn't just about doing too much. It's about forgetting yourself while doing it. These Japanese practices remind us of something the modern world keeps trying to erase. True self-care begins not when you demand more from yourself, but when you start to listen to yourself. In the next part, we'll explore the 2 final Japanese mental exercises, perhaps the most transformative ones of all. One of them teaches you how to release emotional weight that's been building up for years, and the other helps retrain your brain to feel joy and peace again, even after deep exhaustion. But before we move on, I want to leave you with a reflection. Are you giving your mind the same care you give your body when it's sick? Because maybe this tiredness, this lack of motivation, this emptiness you feel, isn't weakness at all. Maybe it's just your mind's way of asking for help. By now you've probably noticed something about these Japanese practices. They're not about productivity or perfection. They're about reconnecting with your humanity. Because burnout doesn't just drain your energy, it steals your ability to feel joy, to be present, to be moved. Life starts to lose its color, and everything that once felt simple begins to feel unbearably heavy. But here's the truth. Even when you feel completely drained, you can retrain your mind to find balance again. And that's exactly what the last 2 Japanese mental exercises are about. The 6th exercise is called Hara Hachibu. It's a Japanese philosophy that literally means eat until you're 80% full. But it's not just about food. It's a mindset, a way of living with moderation and balance. It's the complete opposite of burnout. When applied to mental health, Hara Hachibu becomes a powerful daily habit. Don't fill your mind with so many tasks, worries, and obligations that there's no space left to breathe. Japanese doctors practice mental Hara Hachibu by intentionally pausing, taking a short break between patients, eating without their phones, breathing between conversations. It's about knowing when to stop before you hit your limit. Burnout happens when you live at 120% all the time, as if your worth depends on constant output. But practicing Hara Hachibu teaches you to say, I don't need to empty myself to deserve rest. It's learning to nourish yourself, emotionally, physically, mentally, with balance. Leave space inside you, because in that empty space, peace can finally exist. The seventh and final mental exercise is called kintsugi. You might have heard of it. It's the art of repairing broken pottery with gold, making it more beautiful than before. But kintsugi isn't just an art form, it's a philosophy of healing. Japanese doctors use it as a metaphor to remind themselves and their patients that emotional cracks can become sources of strength. When someone goes through burnout, shame often follows. Shame for not being able to handle it, for failing, for needing to stop. But kintsugi teaches the opposite. Your fractures don't make you flawed, they make you human. They tell your story of endurance. Just like a bowl mended with gold, you can become stronger and more beautiful in the places where you once broke. The secret is to stop hiding your scars and start honoring them as proof of your growth. Mental kintsugi is simple. Write down what feels broken inside you. A mistake, a loss, a disappointment, the exhaustion itself. Then, next to it, write one thing that this pain has taught you. It's like applying gold to the cracks of your mind. You can start by asking yourself, what part of me needs to be repaired with kindness? That question alone can begin to heal your inner fatigue, because it turns pain into meaning, and meaning gives life direction again. These 7 exercises, Shinrin-yoku, Ikigai, Naikan, Kaizen, Zanshin, Hara-hachibu, and kintsugi, form a kind of map for mental balance. Together they teach something modern medicine is rediscovering. The body heals when the mind slows down. And what's most remarkable is that all these habits are invisible to the outside world, but they change everything inside you. They don't require money or time, only awareness. And that's exactly what burnout takes away. Awareness. When your mind is constantly rushing, you stop noticing life itself. So healing begins when you gently bring your attention back to your breath, your senses, your heart. Japanese doctors understand something we often forget. Healing is not an event, it's a process. When you try to recover quickly from burnout, you're still operating under the same mindset that caused it. Pressure, fear, urgency. But a tired mind doesn't need speed. It needs space. It needs quiet moments, long pauses, and simple acts of kindness. And maybe that's the heart of it all. It's not about doing more. It's about feeling more. Think about it for a second. When was the last time you did something slowly, just for the sake of doing it? When was the last time you let yourself rest without guilt? Maybe this lack of energy you feel isn't a problem to fix. Maybe it's a message to listen to. Burnout is your body's silent way of saying, you don't have to carry this much anymore. And you don't. You don't have to be productive all the time to deserve love. You don't have to be okay to deserve rest. You don't have to prove your strength to anyone, because real strength is knowing when to stop, and caring for yourself when you do. There's another Japanese concept that ties all of this together. It's called ma. It means the space between things, the silence between 2 notes in a song, the pause between an inhale and an exhale, the stillness before the next word. Japanese doctors say, health lives in the ma. It's poetic and true, creating small spaces between your tasks, between your emotions, between your demands. That's where your body and mind start to heal. So maybe you don't need to change your whole life right now. Maybe you just need to make room for quiet moments inside it. Imagine that each of these practices is a seed planted in your mind. Shinrin-yoku reconnects you with nature. Ikigai reconnects you with meaning. Naikan reconnects you with gratitude. Kaizen reconnects you with gentle progress. Zanshin reconnects you with presence. Hara-hachibu teaches you to stop before you break. And kintsugi reconnects you with the beauty of your scars. Together, they form a quiet garden within you, one that grows at the pace of patience. Because burnout isn't the end, it's an invitation to replant, to rebuild your mind in richer soil, with stronger roots and calmer blooms. And if right now you feel like you have no strength left, that's okay. You don't have to restart today. Maybe all you need to do is breathe. Take a deep breath with me right now. Feel the air go in and out. Notice that the world hasn't ended. It's just asking you to slow down. If you've made it this far, that's already a sign of courage. You haven't given up. You're just learning a new way to move through life. And the path of healing is quiet, but steady. It begins with small choices. Standing in the sun for 10 minutes, turning off your phone while you eat, writing your thoughts down, drinking more water, sleeping a little earlier. These small things are what rebuild a tired mind. So the next time someone tells you to be stronger, remember kintsugi. Real strength isn't hiding your cracks, it's turning them into art. Remember Hara Heichibu. Balance isn't pushing to the limit, it's stopping before it. And remember yourself, you're here trying to find your way back, and that alone is something to be proud of. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment saying, "I choose to care for my mind before it cries for help." That single sentence can become your promise to yourself, and it might help someone else start their journey too. If this video brought you comfort, clarity, or hope, leave a like and subscribe. Here we talk about mental health with honesty, softness, and no pressure, just truth and compassion. You're not alone in this. Your mind can get tired, your body can slow down, but there's still a part of you that wants peace. And that part, that quiet, resilient part, is the one we nurture here. One breath, one boundary, one gentle moment at a time. Because burnout isn't the end. It's the reminder that you deserve a new beginning,